Hello, y'all. I'm back again for another video. So I learned something new today, y'all. And I know I have been doing live videos for the last 6 months. However, I just learned how to title my video before I go live. So normally I always give it a title after I do the live. So I just accidentally learned today how to name my video something before I go live. So you may notice that the name of the video is already there. So this video is going to be about narcissists and text messaging part 9. I also have a playlist where I've done narcissists and text messaging parts 1 through 8. Each one is separate. Part 1, 2, 3, keep going on. And this is part 9. So I've been having a lot of fun doing this series. And I'm going to also put the video link to the playlist in the description box below when the video ends. So narcissist and text messaging part 9. It's very informative because I started out talking about text messaging, and of course that prompts the subject. However, that prompts the subject matter, but I end up going into more detail. So this video is going to be about narcissist and text messaging part 9. And this is going to cover the religious man. And so what I do, I pick a text that I think would be interesting and educational, and I just start the flow of it. So let's start here. Narcissist and text messaging part 9, the religious man. Why am I even getting the text? Because I unblocked the person, right? So I'm calling this the religious man. And when I say the religious man, it does not mean that this man is in a church. It doesn't mean that the man is viewing religious activities or writings from a correct perspective. It doesn't mean that we necessarily agree on things. So this is how it goes. Okay. And I'm just going to explain some background before I read the text message. So narcissist and text messaging part 9. What happens is text messaging is a format to abuse someone. Okay. Whether it be an empathic person or a narcissist. It's a place where you can react to abuse. You can systematically abuse. You can commit a lot of psychological abuse through what you write. So with narcissist and text messaging part 9, people have different religious perspectives, okay? So this particular narcissist believes that Satan is who created all human beings, okay? And it comes with a basis of this. And I did a video on This Book Destroys Lives and Minds. I'll put that video in the description box as well. It's one of my lives. This Book Destroys Lives and Minds. And the problem with narcissists and religious activities and religion in general, they won't get to the point where they do not accept or realize that the Bible per se may not work in their best interest. And I'm just going to be honest with you. If you are a real narcissist and you lack emotional empathy, I talked about this in another live. The Bible is going to make you either an abuser, not an abuser, or is going to make you a victim. Those are the three categories for people that believe a lot in the Bible and they believe everything they read in it is true. Because you can go to the Bible and become pretty much whomever you want to be. If you decide you don't want to be an abuser, you're going to stay in the book of Psalms and the book of Proverbs. If you want to be an abuser, a lot of highly narcissistic, abusive males that are heavy, black, Bible thumpers, narcissistic males, especially that are black males that I see on YouTube and that I've interacted with, they're going to always find something in Matthew. The book of Matthew is their book, y'all. An abuser, a black man, stay in the book of Matthew. They just do. So, Narcissist and Text Messaging, Part 9, the religious man. Their religious beliefs will be definitely black and white thinking and extreme. So, this particular narcissist, the religious man, this is Part 9, of course, he believes that humans are so bad that Satan is the creator of humans. Okay, the problem with this is, okay, say that that theory is true. It's not true, but say it is. The problem with this theory is he believes all humans are created by Satan. Now, this is the point I've gotten to. If you want to reference the Bible references that not all people will be children of God. I don't necessarily believe that every single person is what I would call a creation of God. And I'll give you an example. Cupcake McKinney, the beautiful little black girl that got brutally unalived. I remember an interview and her mother said this: those kind of people look like us, but they not like us. So that would be kind of like a way of describing humans that are either not human, seeming, it makes it feel like they almost not a human. Like how could you do that to Cupcake McKinney? And I'll look her first name up. They called her, they used, that was like her nickname, right? But let me look her up because I'm trying to think of, it's right on my mind what her full name was. But that would be an example of describing someone that's like born of the devil, kind of like Camille. So Camille Cupcake McKinney is her name. I apologize. I got frustrated. I knew her first name was Camille. It just slipped my mind. This beautiful little girl, Camille Cupcake McKinney. But what I never will forget is her nickname. And she just as pretty as a button, y'all. So I'll use her mom as an example of explaining how she feels. Like basically she was saying that man and woman that kidnapped her little girl, it's almost like she's indicating like those are Satan's children. They look like us, but they not like us. They not of us. So with this being said, with the religious man, when you get in a situation where you don't debunk the Bible, right? So there's a lot of talk and there's some videos even on YouTube that references that the God that's being spoken of in the Bible is actually them talking about the devil. So there's been video after video of some evidence even trying to be supplied that when they speak of God in the Bible, that's actually the devil that they're talking about. Okay. And a lot of the Bible, some of the things that's being referenced to in there, you would have to say that sound more like something a very bad person would do. Like, is that really a heavenly Lord or is that something else? So I can actually assess that, yes, I would agree with some of that. However, this is the thing, the problem is the black and white thinking. So the thing with the religious man and narcissist and text messaging, he believes that all humans on this earth are creations of Satan. And he's referencing this because in Genesis it says God created Adam and Eve. So what this religious man is saying is that Adam and Eve, they talking about Satan in the Bible. But see, this is the problem. And I say this all the time. I don't believe in the Lord because of the Bible. Okay. See, I may not believe in any of that. That has nothing to do with my faith in a heaven and a Lord in heaven. So it's kind of hard, but the worst thing you can do is declare the Bible as the only source of why you believe in the Lord. That's where you'll be making your mistake. And so what happens with males that are narcissists, they don't debunk the Bible soon enough. They got to get their head out of that Bible. It's almost like it's hurting their life, right? And they're utilizing it as a tool to abuse and say mean things and stuff like that. So with the religious man, his belief is that and we have different beliefs. He says that he talks about Satan a lot. He gives Satan a lot of credit. He says Satan has a lot of power. And it's just not the way I talk. In general, I'm giving the Lord the power. I usually, even in my home environment, there's not much mention of Satan. I told this gentleman before, the religious man, I said, I don't care nothing about Satan, but there's no empathy there. So he's going to keep bringing up Satan. So what it is it's like apples and oranges. So the way I would talk about the Lord is the same way he would talk about Satan. If I'm saying the Lord is really powerful, he's saying that Satan's really powerful. And that could be because the narcissism has him asserting control over me. So, when people are in a constant rebellion and debating with you a lot, they're asserting control over you. Anything you say, if you say that's a horse, they're going to say it's a dog. Their narcissism just has to have them saying the total opposite of what you're saying. I hope this makes sense when I say that. So with narcissism and text messaging part 9 with the religious man, our beliefs are different. And this is normal. Especially what I would consider an unaware narcissist, they will lack the self-control in what they say, and our beliefs will be different. It's so normal. Like there's not going to be a narcissist that completely agrees with me. It's like apples and oranges. We're going to be just two separate people. So, and our beliefs will be different, even though on the surface, you may think, okay, well, we're similar. We both believe in the Lord and we both acknowledge the Bible in some sense. You would think you would be similar, but really you're not. Not once you get into the deeper conversations. So this particular religious man, Satan is the reason that human beings are created. And he says all human beings. So, and he says that includes him and me. The problem problem with this is he can believe that Satan created all human beings, but I do not believe that Satan created me or all human beings. I have gotten to the point where, especially studying serial killer cases and just seeing the level of wickedness I've seen throughout the years, I am convinced in some sense that not every creation is necessarily of the Lord in heaven. I do. I don't want to sound like I'm in complete agreement with the religious man. However, when you see enough evil and hear enough evil and watch enough cases, especially serial killer cases, you begin to consider that did the Lord create everybody? And so, to be honest, it's not logical to believe that the Lord created every human being. That's not logical. However, so I don't believe that no more. I would say when I once believed that the Lord created everybody, that's irrational. I may not be a narcissist, but at the same time, when I believe that the Lord created everyone based on what I thought the Bible was saying, that was irrational. However, the religious man believes that Satan created everybody. That's also irrational. Now, the difference between me and him is I'm not a narcissist. Okay. So I'm able to, at some point, get to a place of a middle ground and logic. So, and I'm going to also, as a disclaimer, say this: my beliefs and what I believe don't just boil down to what the Bible says. Okay, I apologize for that, y'all. Y'all know my prayer app comes up. And be careful with these prayer apps. Everything in these prayer apps, the Lord ain't told you to say, y'all. I think at some point I'm going to be creating my book of prayers, or shoot, maybe I don't know how to start a prayer app, but I need to start a healthy prayer app. Maybe I should just start. I have a very small ministry channel. Maybe I should just start uploading there. Okay. More like I can upload a prayer daily on my ministry channel, but it has to be done. In the United States, if you really want to commit suicide, just stay on a prayer app every day. I mean, some of that stuff is just horrible to the self-esteem. Horrible, right? But some of it's beautiful, some of it's good, but I know what to say and what not to say. So anyway, sorry about that. But I want to say this. Everything that I feel and my perspectives, I don't just rely on the Bible to get the information. So my religious viewpoints, my viewpoints on prayer, how to live life, I don't just utilize a Bible for that, because it's not enough there to teach you how to live. There's billions of books in the world that's actually maybe even better than some Bibles, where you actually could learn more. The Bible is a history book, okay? It's a somewhat of a version of a toxic history book. It is. It's toxic in nature as well. And I'm going to tell you how toxic it is. This religious man believes that Satan created all humans. Now, like I said, I have grown. I've grown to the point where I did and I do believe that not all human beings was they necessarily created from this loving God. And I came to that conclusion based on the wickedness people do. Okay. However, and also remembering some scriptures. You know, there's several scriptures that talk about the devil, people that's related to Satan, and all of that type of stuff. However, My belief was once extreme and unrealistic because I used to believe decades and decades ago that every child came from the Lord in heaven. However, you got to watch enough crime cases, y'all. You got to meet enough wicked people, right? So I am convinced not every human come from the Lord. I do. But this is how I feel. I have a more balanced perspective now, right? I believe some humans are definitely God creations, and some humans are definitely not so heavenly, right? But the religious man believes that all human beings was created by Satan. He believes he was, and I am too. And this is where the problem comes in at. When he openly tells me that I also came from the devil. Now, I will be doing a video on narcissistic males and science. So, this is what you want to do with narcissistic males. With narcissistic males, when it comes to certain theories, you want to rely on science. Okay, science will help you. This will be a narcissistic male's weakness, and it will be a religious man that is a narcissist weakness. His weakness will be not to understand science completely and not to acknowledge it. Okay, and just because you believe in certain aspects of the Bible, it's okay to acknowledge science. They kind of hand in hand to some degree, right? But narcissistic males, they will not acknowledge science at all. Okay. Or they will deny science or act like it doesn't exist. So with this religious man, he feels like we all came from Satan. Him too. He say, Satan is my creator, y'all. I'm telling you, narcissists and text messaging. He says, Satan is my creator. He told me this over the phone as well. We also had a phone conversation. And make sure in these cases you've had a phone conversation to understand their theory. So what I did, I explained what my perspective was. I said, well, I used to believe everybody came from the Lord, but I kind of balanced that out because the Bible does mention several times about children of the devil. And I really don't need to read a Bible to know that it's some people that's created by something that's real, real bad. You just inherently know that after you meet them, and the most extreme cases are these serial killers. And they're black and white, y'all. Serial killers, it ain't like it was where, it was just the white man. We got Maury Travis, he's black. We got Ted Bundy, he's white. We got Jeffrey Dahmer, he's white. We got Anthony Sowell, he's black. I just named 2 black ones and 2 white ones. Okay. So, see, Jeffrey Dahmer. Did I mention? Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy. Of course, you got Gary Ridgway. There's just a lot. Okay. So the thing is, I went over what my old belief used to be. So what I try to do is like kind of give some facts that I have even noticed in my life to kind of validate some of a person's point. And I'm really growing, y'all. I'm getting to the point where I'm learning to understand and at least appreciate and validate that that is your perspective, but it's not mine, without hollering and screaming, y'all. Empaths, they really, really are out their mind sometimes, that hollering and screaming at people when you don't agree with them, it's not good. So that's something that I am growing and working on. You gotta listen to a person's perspective. You may not agree with it, but try not to take it so personal. And I'm doing real good. This religious man, he told me the devil was my creator too. Okay, and the old me would have took that real personal. Okay, I might have would have cussed him out or something and took that real personal, but you don't want to do it that way. You want to just do this video, right? So the narcissist and text messaging part 9, going over the religious man, it is his perspective. And he's also using the Bible as an evidence form of why all of us was created by the devil. And he says Lucifer. He's using this as an evidence form for everyone, okay? That all males, all ladies, we are all created by the devil. So it's a bad thing to acknowledge that the Bible could potentially be demonic in some way. And this gentleman, this religious man, acknowledges that it's a demonic source. The Bible can be considered a demonic source. So from my perspective, it's a mistake to use the Bible to come up with the analogy that all of us are creations of Satan. That is a mistake. If you already feel like the Bible has some toxic things in it. So the narcissism comes in with him where the boundary is being crossed. So that's fine that you believe that all humans, no matter their gender, himself, me, and the rest of the humans are created by Satan. You can believe that, but this is where it crosses a boundary, is when someone tells you, no, I am created by the Lord. I am not a creation of Satan. So when somebody continues to tell you that you are, they're also, all abusers have to attack your identity. So narcissists, they are abusers. So he has to attack my identity. Any abuser, they have to do that. It's a major way that they can get you ensnared. So if you want to prevent from being ensnared, like HD Tutor would say, getting ensnared and getting pulled in by a narcissist and becoming victimized by them, especially for longer stretches of time, you must have an identity. You must have an identity. And I do. And part of my identity is, for one, if you just want to talk about the science end of it, and this is why I'm going to be doing a video about narcissistic males and science. So what you want to do in these cases, when I'm in these kind of debates, and I prefer not to have religious debates, but what I do when I see that there's that narcissism in that male, what I did, I said, my mother created me. So you want to go with science. Who your creator is on your birth certificate. It's your mother and father. So let's just go with the mother. That's who your creator is right there. It's your mother. You aren't Jesus. I'm not Jesus. Okay, so the Lord, according to the story in the Bible, the Lord said, you be, and created Jesus and Mary. So since I'm not Jesus and y'all not Jesus, then who your creator is, in some sense, is your mother and father. That's the truth. So with narcissistic males, you want to go with science. And of course, when I'm dealing with a religious narcissistic man, of course, what you think he said? He said, Satan is my mama creator too. Satan created her too. This is what the religious man told me. For real. So you're dealing with a narcissist. So they gonna get their point across. You're taking your stand and you're saying, no, Satan didn't create me. That narcissistic male said, Satan created your mama too. And, like he said, Satan created all of us, him too. That's his perspective. So there's no balanced perspective. So the perspective that I think is more balanced is to believe, like I said, I'm over the belief that the Lord created all of us. I know damn well that ain't true no more. It can't be. Like, you cannot sit up and watch serial killers. I cannot watch Jeffrey Dahmer. I do believe Jeffrey Dahmer daddy was created by the Lord. I'm glad he didn't get got by Jeffrey Dahmer, but it's just hard for me to believe that this is the Lord's creation. Somebody that got a man's head, his first murder, a man's head in a hat box or something, when he basically 18 years old, Jeffrey Dahmer. So I'm over the belief that this person or everybody comes from the Lord. I'm over that. However, what is it gonna do? Okay, in my opinion, it's not good for the self-esteem to believe that Satan had anything to do with your creation. So this is another reason what happens, and I believe this too. If someone is doing what they're supposed to be doing in life, which means they're actively doing good daily, they are utilizing their talents, they are praying, they are naturally kind, busy doing the right things, staying away from toxic men and ladies, has a good church home, a decent small church, has a good church home that's not teaching the wrong parts of the Bible, and has the right goals. Now, this particular religious man also feels like the church was created by Satan, and that's a bad place too. So, see, the thing with this type of narcissist, being a religious man, but won't enter a church, that's a contradiction. That's like an oxymoron right there. You're a religious man, but you won't enter a church. The wrong type of religious man, okay? So there's nothing that's going to be able to help him, right? So he believes he's a creation of Satan, okay? He believes the church, and he also mentioned Islam. All of that's a creation of Satan as well. And there's some very demonic churches. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we've watched the TD Jakes meltdown and all of that, and some of the crazy stuff Creflo Dollar has said, even talking about the devil, or however the devil gonna get you if you don't get the money out the cash machine. I think Creflo Dollar, didn't he have like a cash machine you could get money out of at the church? Don't get me wrong. If I'm mistaken, but I think it was Creflo Dollar. If I'm mistaken, please forgive me. But Creflo Dollar, I watch videos of him saying some pretty toxic stuff. So I understand that there's some demonic stuff going on. I just want to say this right quick, y'all. When y'all are getting phone calls, and I'm going to be doing a video about this too, the psychological warfare that's coming through the phone. I'm going to be doing a video about that. And I've already kind of wrote down at least 25 things I was going to mention, but one of them is going to be the calls always come in when you're doing an activity that you're growing in, and it's a major distraction. So the psychological warfare, people can almost feel when it's something going on good with you, and some people don't like it. I'm being very mindful of the psychological warfare coming through the phone, and I'm not talking about the person that call you every blue moon once a year and y'all have a little beef and get into it. Y'all are both empathic, you have a difference of opinion, and not those people. This psychological warfare that's coming through this phone, these are your regulars you're talking to. Not the one that's coming in once a year. That's not who doing psychological warfare on you. That normally won't work. They coming in on a regular. They miserable too. They sick. They miserable. Some of them disabled. Barely could walk. Stuck on depression pills and can never get themselves off. Just miserable, unhappy. They family members leaving them behind. They extremely envious because they wish they could do their life over, and they don't have emotional empathy to want you to be happy. Even if you mention something you're doing good, they don't mention that. They always mentioning the wrong thing. So and they are aware that they're doing psychological warfare. They know anxiety. There's no empathy for what they're saying to you. It's getting to the point where people getting ready to lose me, y'all. Like the phone, the psychological warfare coming through the phone, I have to put a stop to it. I have to put a stop to it. I just have to. So I just got to schedule it out of my life. It's becoming too much of an interruption. So going back to the narcissist and text messaging, with the view that we all born of Satan, and somebody that's talking to you like this, y'all, when somebody tells you that all humans are created by Satan, inclusive of themselves, they don't like you, and they definitely have low self-esteem. It's no good whatsoever to believe that you was created by Satan. But I named 8 things that if someone is doing these 8 things I named earlier, they're naturally kind, busy, praying, active, daily doing good things. If they're doing these 8 things and they're living a good life and they're genuinely kind and good natured, if you're genuinely kind and good natured and you're not a narcissist, there's no way you're going to believe that you are a creation of the devil. It wouldn't matter even if you read it. You would know it's not true because you actually are good natured. So what a person is doing is when they say, and they're for sure, and they believe they're a creation of the devil, and they believe I'm one too, you one, everybody one that's a human being, they're actually telling on themselves. And I did a video called Why This Is Happening, or Why This Keeps Happening. It keeps happening because people don't listen to Black males. Why this is keep happening, that video I talked about, one Black woman every 5.5 hours gets murdered or unalived because she's not listening. It's stuff like this that Black males say. If a Black man or any man is telling you they are or they are, and they believe they are a creation of Satan, they are basically telling you that they're evil and wicked. If any man believes that he is a creation of Satan, don't pay attention to the part where he say he was delivered from it. The demon came out of him. If that's true, because this is what this man says too, he's been delivered. If that's true, he would no longer believe he's a creation of Satan. It's not normal for somebody to believe that they are a creation of Satan. So I said it's not true. So what happened was he disagreed with me through the text messaging. Because, of course, this is Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 9, the religious man. So I just picked texts here and there that I think are interesting to go over. So this is what the religious man says to me in the text message. At least you are one of the best woman the devil has ever made. The only one I trust. Listen to this very carefully. This is what the text message said. Before that text message, okay, there's two text messages. So I'll read this other one first. I'll text you soon. I love you. And I'm sorry. He's not sorry, y'all. Don't believe that. Okay. Then the next text message says, at least you are one of the best woman or women the devil has ever made. The only one I trust. This is not a compliment. And this is so utterly disrespectful, because this is the problem with this. Even if he believes that Satan created all humans, him, me, and everybody, I have already told him that Satan did not create me. And I have a right, and I know who my creator is. See, a narcissist, and he's also texted me before that many people has called him a narcissist. And this is why. His extreme behaviors, regardless of what he believes, if I don't believe what he believes, it don't apply to me. But he still told me that the devil made me. And that is not my belief system at all. I don't believe that the devil made me. The devil is not my creator. I've signed up to 2 religions throughout my life and studied many religions throughout my life. And no religion that I've ever signed up for has the belief that Satan created me. You or most people. So he still, even though I said no, Satan did not create me, he still texted me and said that at least you are one of the best women the devil has ever made. This is utterly disgusting, what he texted me. Morally disgusting. This is a misogynist, a narcissist, and this person does not love me. Anyone that loved me, that had a true gift of being a clairvoyant, a prophetic gift, they would know that I am not anyone that the devil has created. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a video about narcissistic males and science. This is where I'll do a whole video on that. But in this video, I'm just going to address that. You need to go to science. When you are dealing with religious, narcissistic males they're pretty much narcissists, you must get out the Bible. I did. I told this man, I said, look, my mother is my creator. Get out the Bible and get off of the subject of the Lord in heaven for a second. Go to your birth certificate. So this is where, to debunk any narcissistic male, you must go to science. It's on your birth certificate who your creator is. And that doesn't mean you have to not believe in the Lord. Because remember, the Lord in heaven supposedly created Adam and Eve. And I'm going to believe more that the Lord created Adam and Eve. And I'm not going to be like this religious man. He believes that the devil created Adam and Eve. I'm going to stick with the theory that the Lord created Adam and Eve. So the Lord is their creator. The Lord in heaven is Adam and Eve's creator. Just like I've told y'all before, she's the only woman. Eve's the only woman. I'm a girl. I'm a lady. She's the only woman because according to the story in the Bible and other religious books, Adam came, or Eve, Adam's rib. I don't come from a man's rib. I come from sperm and an egg. Okay. So what I did, I get off of the Bible and the subject of God. I go to science. I am not the creation of Satan because I am the creation of my mother and my father. But of course, the narcissist told me that my mother is a creation of Satan too. So this Negro don't like me or my mother, himself, or the rest of the world. This is a miserable soul. And this is why I did the video on why it keeps happening, meaning Black women getting unalived. This is why it keeps happening. I mentioned in that video that the Black man is the number one man that you can prevent your murder from. All you got to do is listen to him talk. A man like this will kill me. A man that believes that if he don't kill me, he'll beat me down. Rob me, push me down the steps, or do something. He gonna do something. This is not a good guy. No good guy believes that the devil is his creator. And it's not true. And see, this is the problem when it comes to the black and white thinking. When it comes to the black and white thinking. And what I'm going to do, y'all, I'm getting ready to be real strict. I'm telling you, the psychological warfare that the devil or the bad energy in the universe wants to submit and put me, or wants me to submit to and put me through. This is where I just got another call. I'm getting ready to click block temporarily. This is so unhealthy to see this call come through. I see you calling. You call once or twice. I love you. I see you calling. You don't have to keep calling me back to back. And this will go on a lot. I'm finding that, and when I do the video on psychological phone warfare, it's also happening because I don't have a husband and there's not a big scary man staying with me. So there's this perspective that I don't have nothing to do, right? I mentioned to this person that I do videos here and there, right? Not one time has she ever asked, what's the name of your channel? Do you have a channel? I mean, I said I do videos. Maybe I'm on a video, right? Maybe I'm on a live. Like, people, they want to be a distraction. And I already know this caller calling here, she is going through a very miserable time in life, right? And she's not happy. And I'm getting to the point where I'm just not going to be able to speak to people over the phone much that just ain't happy. I mean, I got to stop this psychological upon me through the phone. I even, with this narcissist and text messaging part 9, the religious man, Don't get me wrong, even though I know for sure I'm not no creation of no devil, it's just not true. And not all people, even if it was true that there's creations of the devil, the Lord ain't created no humans. Satan just has that much power. He created us all. Like as if he's stronger than the Lord. And this particular religious man that will not enter a church, this religious hypocrite, he has expressed many times the power of Satan. More than once. He talks about, I mean, he would be a good candidate just to join the satanic occult. He should just sign up and just go on and throw in the towel and become a warlock. He would be good at it. He already, I mean, when people join the church of Satan, they give in praise to the power of the devil, right? So, of course, he don't belong in a church. He belongs over there where the power of the devil is being worshipped. But with narcissism text messaging, this was the text message that came through. And I'll read it to you once again. Yeah, and I just got another text message from the religion man. Thanks, and I love you. He does not love me. Anybody that's telling you you a creation of the devil, they don't think a lot of you, right? And this is why so many black women, you know, they basically like the manosphere. It's on a terrorist watch, y'all. Like these men are considered like terrorists at this point. So the I love you thing, that's a systematic form of abuse. This man don't love nobody. He feel like the devil created him. He feel like Lucifer, Satan, is his creator. So it's impossible for him to love anyone, inclusive of himself. So the text message about I'm the best woman that the devil has ever created. And this is so that the devil has ever made. I mean, at least you are one of the best woman the devil has ever made. The only one I trust. This man want me to believe that I'm the best woman that the devil has ever made. Okay. The only one I trust. It shows me that he's insane, because I wouldn't trust nobody that I thought the devil made. Ain't no best one of the person that the devil made. The devil ain't made the best person. The devil is wicked. So the devil ain't making the best person. This is a total oxymoron right here. And the insults, but he always brings in the I love yous. And this is black women's thing, boy. You can watch American Crime Femicide, Black Girl Unlost. You can watch any crime cases. That I love you. Black women need to hear that. When I did the video on why this is happening, that was like a 3-hour live. I did the reaction, and that sister was brutally beat. But like she said, how could someone that once said that he loved her do her that way? I'm glad I don't have that as a weakness. I don't believe it. He texts me, I'll text you soon, I love you, and I'm sorry. He sent that yesterday. He's not sorry. Quoting scriptures from the book of Matthew. Matthew 11:11. Truly I tell you, among those born of women, there has not risen anyone greater than John the Baptist. Yet whoever is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. The Bible constantly does that. gives an impression that men are above women in some sense. There's no one greater than John the Baptist. Anyone born of women, there's no one greater than John the Baptist. And all of these comparisons and all this narcissism. But these religious narcissists, and I'm calling them religious narcissists because they always reference into the Bible. But I don't respect them as truly religious men because they don't go to temples. No one in their household is entering the church. They're usually not actively praying. The book of Matthew will be a book of the Bible in a section of the Bible that narcissistic Black males that are hypocrites will use often. Fates and Gates does it. I've done reactions on him as well. He will reference the book of Matthew, but not care nothing about these ladies that are being murdered by these men that he's discussing on his channel. He has no soul for these ladies at all. So he does that same thing. He's always in the book of Matthew. And no disrespect towards the name Matthew. I'm just saying there's a pattern that I'm noticing amongst Black males, these religious males, and men that are hypocrites. So this is the second male that's bringing up the book of Matthew. I know Fates and Gates does it, but this was text to me as well. And this came through to me. What was this, yesterday? Let me see. He sends me some good videos to do reactions on. This gentleman does. Yeah, this came. Yeah, let me see. February 2nd. Yeah, it came early this morning, basically. But, and see, the problem with narcissism text messaging part 9, if a Black male has been raised by a narcissist, and sometimes they can get unlucky and both parents are highly narcissistic, or if the dad's a narcissist and the mother's an empath. So he finally responded to my text. He said, "Thanks, I love you." He doesn't love me. See, I'm not like these other Black women where I'm listening to this. I don't care about the "I love you." Every single Black man that's usually killing these Black women has said they love them. That don't mean nothing. See, that's Black women. They need to hear that. I don't need to hear that. I love me, so I don't need to hear that. And I have had people that really love me for real say this to me. And so I don't need to hear his "I love you." But yeah, at 8:09 this morning. Yeah, so this came in this morning. He's at 8:08. He says, well, first at 8:07, he says, "I'm sleepy." So he needs to abuse before he goes to sleep. So at 8:07 this morning, he says he's sleepy. At 8:08, "I'll text you soon. I love you. And I'm sorry." He's not sorry. He's apologized several times. And he's doing that because I'm not doing reactive abuse. Because I know I'm not gonna, his days are numbered with me as far as like being able to even conversate with me. Just for the disrespect, it's fine. If you believe Satan created you, the rest of the world, but once I tell you Satan ain't created me, Satan is not my creator. Once I tell you that and you still text me this, you are just utterly despicable. You are a narcissist. It ain't no way to come around it. And you have no respect for nobody. And that's why in another text he sent me the other day, he say many people have called him a narcissist and blame me that his other relative is calling him a narcissist now. I don't control that relative's mind. If you got another relative that's a lady that's calling you a narcissist, I could tell her anything. She has to assess. out of all her years of you being her relative, that that's what you are. He also believes that I somehow control everybody's mind, like I control his relative, his female relative, or his lady relative, or his relative that's a woman. He believes that because I called him a narcissist to her, he believes that she's only believing he's a narcissist because I said it. No, the lady has her own mind. This man's a narcissist. There's no emotional empathy. I told this man, I am not a creation of Satan. I even told him I don't think he is as well. But I backed off from that because the thing is, people know how wicked they are, y'all. They telling you they are a creation of Satan. Believe them. That's the black man's way, and this particular religious black man, of saying that he is the devil. That's basically what he's saying. It ain't no demon off him or removed from him, as he says, for him to still think he is a creation of Satan, I am, and everyone else that's a human is. This is what his belief, y'all. This is his religious belief, that all humans are created from Satan. My belief is, I'm to the point I don't believe the Lord created everybody. I don't. However, the Lord knows who he created and who he didn't. But the utter disrespect, once somebody tells you that they are not a part of something, they should not be texting you, telling you you are, and saying at least you the one of the best woman the devil has ever made. And this is what this did to me. The psychological warfare will not work. And I'm strong in my identity. This is happening because I didn't keep them blocked. I didn't keep them blocked. Okay, so this is the result of unblocking someone. However, with empathic people, this is a little process you got to go through. I do know this for a fact. Before I cut somebody completely loose, I got to give them like a few chances to even attack through the phone. I'm good at staying out of their physical presence. I'm not going to go around this gentleman and this religious narcissist, right? But the Lord will protect me by allowing some strong attacks to come through a source that's not physical in nature. So allowing me to be attacked by them, whether it be through the phone, they write me a letter in the mail cursing me out. I'll get a few signs before I'm just completely out of there. But this is not love. This man does not love me. No man can love himself when he believes. He must do really bad things to believe that he's a creation of Satan. He must do really bad things. And then this is the thing, when he says many people have called him a narcissist, he texts me that as well. He always says that he was doing good by these people, helping them and doing right by them. But this is the thing with this. I looked this up. Why people call someone a narcissist? It's because someone displays a pattern of extreme self-absorption, a lack of empathy, arrogance, and insatiable need for admiration. So they have key traits like arrogance, honey attitude, behavioral problems, a disregard for the rights of others, relationship impact, manipulative tactics, or gaslighting to control their partner, the context of misuse. The term is frequently used, sometimes casually, to describe anyone selfish or difficult. So the person is being called a narcissist. So he said many people have called him a narcissist in his past, inclusive of me, and now another lady relative. So the thing is, what he doesn't understand, with this text message that he has sent me prior within the last couple of weeks or so, none of this mentions anything about giving. So narcissists can be very giving. That's not what makes you a narcissist or makes you not a narcissist. You can buy somebody a house and still be a narcissist. But after you buy them that house, you're going to cuss them out, tell them they ugly. And it's the emotional side of it. So he thinks he's not a narcissist because of the good deeds he does. But those good deeds don't necessarily fully display emotional empathy. Because like this says, why do people call a person a narcissist? It's because of their extreme pattern of lack of empathy or absorption. So that applies to that text message he sent me. That's an extreme lack of empathy. To text someone and tell them and type to them what he said. That's extreme, y'all. That's extreme. At least you are the one of the best women the devil has ever made. That's extreme. That's why people call him a narcissist. So this is Narcissist and text messaging part 9. The religious man. Narcissist and text messaging part 9. The religious man. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I know some of y'all are going to watch it later. So I don't worry about that because every live, there's not going to be people that's on the live per se, but this is Narcissist and text messaging part 9, y'all. Part 9, the religious man. So hopefully that text helped. Then, I also want to point this out. The psychological warfare, it won't completely work. This is psychological warfare through the text messaging. When someone texts you and they're telling you that the devil made you, that is psychological warfare. So I didn't cry, but I have headaches, I have mild anxiety, and I've had migraines in the past. So it did kind of make me a little dizzy. Okay, it did. This man, it affected me in a negative way. I'm doing fine now, but my head was a little foggy. I took a Tylenol. I took a 500 milligram Tylenol or something like that. So the purpose of me saying that is even the way he's constantly mentioning Satan. I've asked him this months ago. I said, I don't care nothing about Satan. Even the way he constantly mentions Satan, it's unhealthy for my physical mind and health. And I did feel a stressor. And in some sense, I got a little dizzy and off balance. And I didn't get a full-blown painful headache because what I did is when I first felt that little nudge of a headache in the front of my forehead, where my tension headaches would come, or even similar to like a sinus headache would come, I took the Tylenol right away because I was not willing to get a strong headache over this demon. And I'm going to call him a demon because he's bragging that he is one. He says he says Satan created him, not me. He said it. So if I call this man a demon, I'm not attacking his character. Now, if he calls me one, he's attacking my character because I know for sure that I am a creation of the Lord. You know what my mama told me? Somebody said when I was born, when I was in the hospital at Homer G. Phillips in St. Louis, my mama said that somebody said that baby looked like Jesus. Talking about me, little old me. So for sure, I know I am a creation of my mother, my father, and the Lord allowed them to create me. But primarily, I'm my mother's. I'm a baby of my mother, and I'm a creator. I am being created from my mother. The Lord allowed my mother to be able to have children through C-section. I was born C-section. Okay. So all of that was allowed. The Lord allowed the surgeon to do an expert job delivering me. My mother never complained about her C-section cuts or none of that. She never said they messed her up, they damaged her, they cut her wrong, none of that. Homer G did an excellent job. My mother never complained about pain in her stomach from having me by C-section or any of that. There was no problem, except the fact my mother could not have any of her children vaginally because she was unable to dilate. It's a condition. It's just a medical condition. So please like, share, and subscribe, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in here. This is Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 9. Please click a like and share the video. And let me make sure I didn't get any comments. Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 9, The Religious Man. And I thought that these texts would be good. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought this particular gentleman at first was what I call an unaware empath. It's a term I came up with myself, which means it's a empath. They know they are empath, but they lack a lot of boundaries. But this is a narcissist. This is a narcissist. This is not no unaware empath. Time tells. That's why you got to use the method that HG Tudor teaches, which he calls it the ICE method, which means you take your time and you slow down with people. My head is feeling fine today, but I'm going to be doing other videos. I'm going to be doing the video on psychological phone warfare. I'm going to go through my lives and view my lives once or twice for each one so that I can go back and recall the videos that I promised you. This year, I'm going to be way more organized, and you're going to see me bringing these videos out, and I'm going to be, as promised, remember I promised I was going to do the video with psychological phone warfare or whatever. Remember I said I was going to do that video. The live is here. This video will be in the Narcissist and Text Messaging playlist. I will put that playlist in the description box. So this is Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 9. The Religious Man, y'all. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all. Y'all are not no creation of Satan. Unless you just real wicked and you know you are. But I encourage you to believe positive things. And remember, no matter how bad you used to be or thought you were, you can become good. Okay? But you are created by a good Lord, heavenly Lord. I truly believe that the majority of people that come here are creations of the Lord, and you're here to learn. Don't give demonic energy that come in people any of your power. Take care of your health. I just explained how I actually had a health symptom from dealing with this food, and texting me that it's just bad. That text that I read to you, that's not a compliment. You are the woman that the devil ever made. That's not a compliment. No man would love me that loved me would text me that and talk to me that way. This man's my enemy. He does not love me. And that's another thing too. Once you wound a narcissist and they're a narcissistic male, that's all they're going to be around for. It's just a torture chamber. This is where no contact comes into force, where you just end up blocking them and just being completely done with them. They're going to be torturing you psychologically and emotionally. They're going to be in bad moods. They're going to be angry. They're going to be saying all kind of wicked and spiteful untrue stuff to you because it's just not true. And it's not true because of this. This is why it's not true. Regardless of anybody's perspective, including this religious man, it's not true because I'm saying I am not a creation of Satan. So, because I know who I am and I have told this man who I am, he can believe whatever he wants, but he don't have no right to tell me who I am. Because for one, to tell me who my creator is, he's not my parent. He's not my mother or father. He had nothing to do with the creation of me. So he does not know what I am. I do. Because I'm in my own body. Narcissists love to tell you who you are, what you are. They have to, all abusers have to attack your identity. They do. This is just a total attack on the beautiful creation of me, and it's not right. And so the thing is, I was using self-control. You got to stop cussing people out and yelling at them and stuff. That's just not the right thing to do. If I start screaming at this man and going all off, yelling and screaming all crazy, it proves his point. He can say, see there, I told you Satan created you. Listen to you, woman. And a narcissist, especially a religious narcissist, not only are you a creation of Satan, listen to you. You sound like the devil right now. You are a demonic spirit. They use that against you because you are behaving like some evil created you. But the Lord allowed you to have emotions. You're still not a creation of the devil because you started yelling and screaming. But I'm just saying, you giving the narcissist information to use against you. So you want to improve in that area. You don't. And also what he wants to do with this particular gentleman with narcissism and text messaging, part 9. And I call them gentlemen, even when they're not acting like one. Okay. So it's just me being polite. What this gentleman is doing is, it's like a form of character assassination and misogyny, showing his disdain for ladies. And a lot of these type of narcissistic males, if they mothers and fathers brought them into religion and they weren't very encouraging, when the narcissistic male tried to branch out and seek God, saying toxic stuff to men will kind of create this type of spirit in somebody where they'll be like confused. Because believe it or not, when you try to come into religion and your parents were in religion, they may actually devalue what you're doing. Say you get in a religion and the religion teaches you that you're one of God's kings. You're a man king for the Lord. And this particular religion teaches that. And you go to your mother or father and say, they said I'm a king, mom or dad. They said I'm a king for the Lord. And your mother or father say, oh, shut up. You ain't no king. You a peasant. The Lord don't need you to be a king, or the Lord don't have kings. But in this particular religion that you signed up for, is teaching you a positive attribute. And the religion is different than the one your mother or father joined. You still believe in the Lord, but they explain it different. So you go to your empath, narcissistic. Once your mother or father just totally devalues your religion or your new religion, they're being highly narcissistic towards you and not having empathy. And they're also not glad that you still believe in the Lord. That's the main thing, is that you believe in the Lord. So if the narcissistic male comes from a situation like that, he's gonna be quite toxic because he's also a victim of narcissistic abuse. And so, yeah, this is Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 9, the religious man, and this is just how I feel. And so, for my viewers here and my subscribers here, you are no creation of Satan. Unless you like a serial killer. And I do believe that if anyone got their lives right and they started doing the best they can in their daily life, they would eventually not believe that they are personally a creation of the devil. Oh my goodness. If I believe this, I would be deeply depressed. If I woke up every day and I believe that the devil created me, I couldn't imagine. I would not feel no contentment, y'all. I could not be content. I could not be good natured. And I could not be as loving as I am if I believe some insanity like that. So, yeah, I just thank the Lord that I had the mother I had, the father I had, the grandmother I had, the grandparents, aunties. I thank the Lord for everyone that I had that was so sweet to me, that told me the truth that I am a creation of the one most high Lord. And I thank the Lord for that. I thank the Lord right now for my mind and just being able to heal me. I mean, this religious man had me off balance. I had to take a Tylenol. And so, when you get to the point, because like he said, he's a creation of Satan. So when I'm talking to him on the phone, and I'm going to believe him. See, I'm going to believe what he say. I'm not going to keep telling him, or I said one time that Satan didn't create you, but since he's firm and he know how wicked his ass is, and he know that he's a creation of Satan, he know he's that wicked. He know he a creation of Satan, so I'm going to believe him. See, I'm not like narcissistic women where I don't validate the man. See, the difference between me and a narcissistic woman, I validate the man. The brother say he is a creation of Satan. I'ma believe him. The radio vibes came through the phone, made me dizzy, began a minor headache in me. I went and got a 500 milligram Tylenol, and so I survived. The room seemed a little dark and gloomy before I went to sleep, like his creator, this religious man narcissist. It felt like his creator had came to my crib for a few minutes. So, because like he said, he's a creation of Satan. So there was definitely a demonic energy. Please y'all. Please click a like. This is Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 9, the religious man. So for y'all that just came in, please replay the video. I'm going to release it to the public right away. I love y'all, but I'm talking about the things that can happen to your health, y'all. Y'all want me to read the text that I read already? Let me read it before I go. Let me read it. This is a man that claims he's a creation of Satan. He says, at least you are one of the best women that the devil has ever made. The only one I trust. The hell? And then text me today, thanks, I love you. Yeah, because I was saying I don't agree with the theory, so he's thanking me for that, But yeah, so please like, share, and subscribe, y'all. I got me a coffee. I do. Um, I've had a few little asthma issues, but I'm feeling okay. So again, please like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all. I will be talking about psychological warfare with the phone, and the phone has an effect on me, and I will have to accept that I'm being targeted. I'm unmarried, and these lonely, miserable, narcissistic people with serious issues that are unable to be content or attacking me, and it's coming through the phone. So I got to get more control of this phone situation, this psychological warfare coming through my phone. And it is psychological warfare. Psychological warfare is a serious thing, y'all. It's someone constantly, consistently messing with your head, playing with your mind. You got to be very careful with your mind. Your brain is a very valuable part of what you need to function. So it's okay. This Advanced Insight channel, I will be attacked. This channel, me having this channel and me learning from y'all and y'all learning from me, it does not stop me from being attacked. It just helps me prevent the attack from going all the way through, and me being able to tell y'all about it so y'all can prevent it and know when it's happening to you. And then we all just learn together. So anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. Daniel and I, we got a few projects we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be working on a bathroom, y'all, and we're going to be working on a hallway. A hallway and a bathroom is going to be our chore for the night. And we're going to have our cleaning stuff. And I'm going to be having some maintenance workers come in that are going to be helping to replace some appliances. We're going to be getting some new appliances. So thank the Lord for that. So please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here with Advanced Insight channel. Thank you. Bye. I love y'all. This is Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 9. The Religious Man. Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 9. The Religious Man, y'all. Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 9. The Religious Man, y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Again, this will be in the playlist of Narcissist and Text Messaging. This is Part 9. I'm doing good, y'all. This is the 9th video. The 9th video. 9 videos I've done on Narcissist and Text Messaging. Part 9. More will come. I just pick out a text that seems interesting, and I just go from there. So tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. Make sure you tell your family you love them, okay? Thank you. Bye. Tune in for more right here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.